Hi, Akil. How are you today?
I'm absolutely good. How about you, Adeel?
I'm good. So, I wanted to know about your experience. I wanted to know how you
Mm-hmm.
started your real estate career.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I want to know from you is how you close your first deal.
That's a really interesting question. My
Mhm,
first deal, definitely it was the first deal in the market. So it's very close to my heart.
mhm,
But the scenario, in which scenario I close it, that is also a story itself.
mhm.
So you know what happened, like when I entered in the market, definitely when you are in the beginning stage, you have to learn a lot of things. So I was learning a lot, I was calling a lot, and I was calling crazily. So I come to office at 9 o'clock, I was dialing at 10 o'clock. Sometimes in the night till 10 o'clock, I was dialing. So 12 hours of calling. So out of that, I got one customer who wanted to have a property for rental, and it was midtown. So I went there, showed him one bedroom apartment, and he was the finance manager of the company. The company was a logistics company, and the owner came along with the manager. Okay. I showed them all the properties. They liked it. I rented property. And after a few days, when I was standing in a queue of La Rosa, so the owner of the company came with the same finance manager. He had a briefcase in the hand, and there were at least 2,000, 3,000 agents. So I was in the queue. So he started shouting my name, Akeel, Akeel. And I was like, what happened? Who's calling my name? And I was exhausted because you know how it works. I was standing in the line since previous evening to get my number in the beginning tokens.
And obviously, agents today who joined last year, they don't know how
That's,
it used to be.
yeah, the struggle was real.
Yeah, and now it's pretty easy, right? You
Exactly.
just catch the unit on the system or
Exactly.
possibly submit EOI. Those days there was
Exactly.
no EOIs, especially
Exactly.
for the buy holding.
True,
So tell
true.
me.
So what happened? I was exhausted. I was standing in the queue, and that guy started shouting out my name, Akeel, Akeel, and I started looking around. And I saw him, and he waved at me, and he said, Akeel, I'll give you my number. Call me. Then I said, stop. There are a lot of agents over here. Let me shout out my number to you.
Mhm.
Then I shouted out my number. He write it down. Okay. He gave me a call, and he told me, Akeel, I want you to book 2 units. I already had one client, but he backed out. And I was so desperate what I'm gonna do, but I was still not losing my hope. And I was like, okay, I'll stand in the queue, I'll take my token, I'll go inside, maybe my client will come back. But this guy just appeared just because I gave them the good service and I was like really good, and I was showing them a good properties according to the requirement. He got inspired by that. He came to me and told me, I want to book 2 units. I went inside, sold him 2 units, and the first value of my first deal was 3 million.
Okay. So what would you recommend to somebody who recently joined real estate,
Mm-hmm.
that what's missing in most of the agents, according to you, and what are the steps they should take or how they should learn and what they should do in their daily routine to
Mm-hmm.
close their deals as soon as they join real estate?
Mm-hmm. So the first thing is learning is the first process. They have to learn a lot. Okay. They want to know each and every area according to their prices. They need to have their knowledge first. After that, they have to be consistent on the calls. They have to be consistent on the follow-ups, and they have to call a lot. And that would help. You know why? Because if someone is going to ask you a question, and if you don't know the answer, you will feel embarrassed, and next time you will learn it.
Right.
So that will help you a lot to learn about the market. So you have to be consistent. You have to show up to the office on time. You have to do your calling. You have to do your follow up, and you have to go extra mile, which will make you above the other agents. So you have,
Like,
like, you can do extra callings. Okay. You can do snagging of different clients. For example, if you got a lead or some person is already having a property and he wants to do a rental in the same area again, or he wants to renew his contract, or someone is taking a handover of a property and the snagging is upcoming, you can give them the extra favors. Okay. You can wish them different occasion on the WhatsApp. You can go out and meet them. If you don't have any stuff, don't stay in the office. Go out with the clients. Okay, hang around with them. Even a coffee shop, you can go for a dinner, you can go for a lunch, even you can go for the viewings also. So the whole scenario is you have to be connected to different clients. You have to see for the opportunities, and you have to expand your broker connection as well. It helps very much by closing a deal and being a successful agent. These things are very important.
and how much time it took for you to close your first deal?
It was, I guess, 3.5 months.
Okay. So it took 3.5 months, and 3.5 months you were consistently learning and
Ex-
calling, learning and
Exactly.
calling.
Exactly.
And why do you think that why that client left thousands of brokers and choose you over all those other brokers which were standing in the queue that day?
See, it depends upon your attitude. It depends upon your services which you give to your client. If you try to sell a property to someone, you are not going to sell it. Or maybe you will sell it, but you will not build a relationship. So it's all about making a good perception in front of the client, giving a good service, and making him comfortable. And if he's comfortable, you will make a friendly environment. And
Hmm.
out of that, definitely you will make a long term relation. Either he's going to buy the property. If not, maybe he can refer you something.
So you always think that creating that bond with that person and going beyond your limits or going out of the box and creating that bond with the client helps closing deal. So
It-
it's not like not like trying to sell a product to somebody, but it's more of like personal, but going beyond the limits and creating that bond with them and making them more comfortable to trust in you or have faith in you and believe in you, right?
Exactly. That was the success point for me. And it helps a lot. It helps a lot. Because in real estate market, sometimes you're going up, sometimes you're going down. It's not like you're consistently selling.
Hmm.
Sometimes there are some blockages. Sometimes you have some bad months. And in those bad months, these are the connection and the relations which are gonna help you in a longer time period.
Yeah. And also, you should also think about their benefits as well, right?
Exactly.
So, this is something which is missing in today's market because, uh, unfortunately, everybody wants to be a real estate broker in Dubai,
Yeah, that's a fact.
but they ignore the basics of it. So it's
True.
very, very important for us to learn how it works. So for me, it's very easy. If my client makes money, I make money.
True.
So my client have to keep making money for me to keep making money.
Exactly.
Now, this is something which is missing in most of the people. Most of the people who are joining brokerage now these days, they would just go and pick up a project which is where you can get inventory easily
Mm-hmm.
and where the commissions are higher,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then they would just pick up the phone, and from morning till evening, they're calling and pitching that specific property to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then getting lucky of finding somebody who is interested to buy that property. But eventually, their experience with that property is not very well. And then eventually, they have to find the client every day. So,
Mm-hmm.
for me personally, I think the person who is living overseas and you are introducing Dubai market to him and you are representing Dubai market to him. So basically, you are the face of the market in
Exactly.
front of him. So if he wants to move his money from his country and invest in Dubai real estate market
Mm-hmm.
and taking your opinion, I think you should be very, very careful and very, very picky about it. So there are okay Dubai in Dubai real estate market you could there is a lot of potential when it comes to returns, but that does not mean that every property is good,
That's true.
right? So putting yourself at risk and taking that extra uh, courage to offer a product which is really good for a client. So for me, I have seen this mindset in brokers that no, it's difficult to get unit in MR, so
Mm-hmm.
let's not offer MR.
I know. I know.
Let's offer something else which is easy to get or which is available.
I know.
But that is not the case. Even if he does not get the unit, at least you tried,
Exactly.
right? So also the investor has to understand that uh, it's a very, very high demand market.
Mm-hmm.
So if, for example, in MR projects, if you're not a bulk buyer, you will never get a priority. So the
Mm-hmm.
bulk buyers are prioritized. Now you
Mm-hmm.
have to understand that fact as well.
Mm-hmm.
And why that project is high, those projects are high in demand just because of the potential,
Mm-hmm.
right? But understanding the potential is also not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many investors who love to sit, have coffee.
Mm-hmm.
They want a list to be opened in front of them
Mm-hmm.
and they want to choose their preferred unit. And
Mm-hmm.
they expect that property to give them best returns.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously it will not happen, because if
Mm-hmm.
that property is available from last 2 years, and let's suppose if that project was launched 2 years back,
Mm-hmm.
and still you have inventory in that project, that means the developer itself is struggling to sell,
For sure.
right? So, but you are very happy just because you were treated well. There
Mm-hmm.
was no hush hush situation.
Mm-hmm.
You were not running, you were not under stress.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was very cool and calm. Somebody came to you, picked you from the hotel, dropped
Mm-hmm.
you, took you to the developer place, showed you the show apartment,
Mm-hmm.
opened a list in front of you, gave you
Mm-hmm.
hundreds of options to choose from,
Mm-hmm.
and then you expect that property to give you good returns. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work like that. If that
Exactly.
property was a hot property, it would have been sold out already. And this is the difference for the brokers as well. So for brokers, I feel that for brokers, in a short term, it's a very good strategy to offer a project which is always available.
Mm-hmm.
But I think those brokers would vanish once the market will be slowed down.
Exactly. Just closed and vanished. The
Right.
career is end.
So for me, I am in this market from almost 11 years, and I've seen two cycles
Mm-hmm.
basically in last 2 years, in last 10 years, and I have seen market going crazy up and crazy down, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to stay in the market just because I was thinking long term,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when the market was down, I was selling. When market was going up, I was selling.
True. I know.
But a broker who is only focused to sell whatever comes on his way is here for only couple of months or couple of years, and then you would see those guys, they even leave Dubai.
And I would love to say those like seasonal brokers. They just come for the season, then they vanish from the market.
Right. So this is why it's very important for us to take care of our clients,
Mm-hmm.
understand their requirements, and they build their portfolio accordingly. And I still believe that only 10% of the brokers in the market are really professional,
That's
whereas
true.
90% of are not. Obviously, it's so unfortunate,
Mm-hmm.
but this is also true. So for an investor also, it's very, very important to handpick his broker, and with full of due diligence, and he should do his homework to handpick the right broker.
Mm-hmm.
And that right broker could be from a very big company,
Mm-hmm.
and he could be a freelancer as well.
Exactly.
But a guy who is knowledgeable,
Mm-hmm.
who knows what happened 10 years ago or 20 years ago, what
Mm-hmm.
was the price of this thing or that thing, but not only just telling you that this project is the best project, but he should know the comparison, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you are giving him an opportunity to build a portfolio for you, so he should, diversify your portfolio in different locations. He
Mm-hmm.
should be capable enough or informed enough to tell you what happened in the past and what is going to happen in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So then only you should do business with him, not like just because he came in the market and he talks in your language and you're
Mm-hmm.
so comfortable with him. Or
Mm-hmm.
maybe he was the only guy who approached you and you just went and bought a property through him. So, anyways,
So very well said. The
mhm.
things you said are like absolutely correct. Now I'm curious how you closed your first deal.
Well, that's very funny. To be honest, it's quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I started my career from the Mac properties,
Mm-hmm.
and those days were very. The market was not at not right now, for example, like how it is today. So
Mm-hmm.
my office used to be in Demac Hills, which is Demac Hills today.
10 years back, I can
Right.
imagine.
So it was a desert. So our office was in the middle of the desert. Let's put it that way. And there was a project launched, Carson.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, a lot of people from today's market, they know Carson as Bella Vista,
Exactly.
but it was launched as Carson. And I'm talking about early 2015. And I
Mm-hmm.
joined DeMac knowing nothing about Dubai
Mm-hmm.
and knowing nothing about real estate, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest. And I was not trained as well. So basically, there were no trainings, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned everything on my own, on myself, by
Mm-hmm.
myself. I went to the office. I realized that my manager is not very much interested to teach me
Ah.
or to train me, and he is busy in other stuff. And we used to have that culture where if I need help from my colleague, he would tell me that send me an email
Mm-hmm.
that if we close a deal,
Mm-hmm.
from this prospect, it will be a share deal, right?
Mm.
So
My God.
then I realized that okay, it is going to be on me and myself.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, I came to Dubai and I was very new, and then my few friends were working in Etisalat and do.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, if you can give me database. So
Mm-hmm.
imagine if if somebody would come to you and insist you and call
Mm-hmm.
you 10 times a day and tell you give me a database, I mean, you would just give, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 numbers, whatever you would find come on your way,
Yeah.
maybe old database, maybe from your phone contact list, and you would give it to them.
Just get to just to get
Just to
rid.
want to get rid of it. So this is how I got the database. And obviously I was not getting leads.
Mm-hmm.
Agents are asking a lot of leads these days. When I
Mm-hmm.
do interviews, when I'm trying to hire agents,
Mm-hmm.
they know nothing and they want leads.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's very funny that how come you want a lead? So let's suppose you want a lead for X project.
Mm-hmm.
So if I ask them, can you tell me about this project? They don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So they expect a lead that you get a lead, you call
Mm-hmm.
the lead, and the client says, come collect a check, and tomorrow you bring the check to me, and I go, I book a unit. So
I know.
basically, they want to be a courier, which is only in dreams. It's not in real
Exactly.
world. Anyways, so I realized that this is not going to work like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to go 9 o'clock in the office till 11 p.m., 12 p.m. I used to sit in the office. And it was in
Mm-hmm.
the middle of the desert. And, I was living in Marina that time. So
Mm-hmm.
it was very hard to go on a public transport from Damac Hills to Marina. Always
Mm-hmm.
only the people who lived in 2014,
Mm-hmm.
they can imagine how it was. Even today in public, going from Damac Hills to Dubai Marina in public transport
It's
is
still
just fun,
crazy.
right? So you can imagine how it was 10 years back. So, anyways, I was calling on that database, and 2 months I only learned. I
Mm-hmm.
used to read all those brochures. I used to go in detail. I studied Google Map in and out. I
Mm-hmm.
studied Dubai Map, different locations, what's there, what's that, why this product is better than that product. I always used to compare. I read each and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we were not having those tools which you guys are having today, for example.
Mm-hmm.
We were I mean, social media was not that active. There was
Mm-hmm.
no, you will not find videos easily on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube that,
Yeah.
somebody's coming and teaching you
Exactly.
about real estate, or, somebody have created videos over.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was not like that. So obviously whatever I learned was through brochures. So anyways, I used to call, and
Mm-hmm.
luckily one guy from that database, I was having only 70, 80 numbers.
Mm-hmm.
He was living in Abu Dhabi, and I follow up. One day he said, okay, I'm coming to Dubai,
Mm-hmm.
and let's see what you have.
Mm-hmm.
So he came to that office, which was in the middle of the desert,
Mm-hmm.
and then he sat with me, and obviously I was not having any idea what to do and what I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I pitched the project, and he said, yes, it's very, very interesting, and I would like to book, but I did not bring any cash or credit card with me.
Mm-hmm.
I went to my sales manager. I said, please, this is going to be my first deal. I
Mm-hmm.
want you to book it with any money.
Mm-hmm.
And he agreed to book it with 2000 dirhams.
Wow.
So I collected 2000 dirhams
My God.
from the client, and I booked the unit. And luckily, when he went back, he transferred the down payment. And the deal value was like what, half a million, maybe 550,000. Uh, and obviously, if I was working in the Mac, my commission was only 3,000.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how I started. But the moment I started, I never looked back.
Mm-hmm.
And within 6 months of time, I was the top performer of the company. So this is how it
Excellent.
works. Then I closed bulk deals, I closed full floors, I closed expensive villas. I used to
Mm-hmm.
sell the Mackels too. Now people are struggling to sell the Mackels to today. And I always
I
laugh
know.
on them because I was selling the Mackels too back in 2015, 16, when even I did not know where is the Mackels too.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to sit late nights, and I used to call Saudi, Qatar, Kuwait, and
Mm-hmm.
I used to close sell units in the Mackels too. And I was selling units in the Mackels too, like that. For example, if somebody is interested to buy a property in Business Bay,
Mm-hmm.
so I was selling property in Business Bay, but on top of that, I was giving him one villa in the Mackels too as well,
Wow.
cross selling. So this is how it is. Now, you tell me, what was the highest value of a deal you closed ever?
Not as highest as yours, but
Mhm.
the highest which I closed in one go was 27 million, and
Okay,
it was in Shobha Reserve. So I
all right.
sold out 3 units over there. and
Okay.
that was my biggest deal till now.
So you sold 3 units in, and can you tell me a little bit about it? How you found the client, how you know him?
So the thing is, the client was in touch with me for a very long time. We were talking about different things, and basically, he's also a financial manager. So he was managing the finances while sitting in Dubai, and the owner, he's from India, Kerala. So he's
Tough guys.
tough guys,
Hmm.
and he is a developer itself.
Hmm.
So he's going in and out, and if there is a full stop over there, he's gonna ask you what is the reason of this full stop, why it is here, explain me properly. So it was a very challenging deal. That guy was looking for like multiple options in the market. Then basically he wanted to have like one unit, but then we had a discussion for like a week or 2 weeks. After that, we came to a conclusion. He bought 2 units in one day. And the second day in the morning, he called me again, Akil, I want one more unit. I said, why not? Be my guest. So that was the biggest deal I closed, which was 27 million. And yeah, that was the biggest one. But now I'm looking forward to.
270 million, it was.
Yes. It was a like crazy good experience. In the market, every time you are learning, it's not like you're in the market for 1 year, 10 years, or 20 years. In our industry, in our field of work, we have to be updated every week. If I say we have to be updated every day, still it won't be wrong. So something is coming up into the market.
Now, I'll tell you something, the power of follow up,
Mm-hmm.
which is very, very important and which most of us lacking.
Mm-hmm.
So, from the same database,
Mm-hmm.
I used to have database of 80
Mm-hmm.
numbers, right?
Okay.
So imagine how much business I brought from the 80 numbers. So
Mm-hmm.
that was not the biggest deal of my career, but the
Mm-hmm.
first big deal I ever closed, let's say the
Mm-hmm.
first bulk deal I closed in my entire in my career that time, back
Mm-hmm.
in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So I was having that database, and from that database, I found one local Emirati
Mm-hmm.
client, and I used to call him almost every
Mm-hmm.
second day,
Mm-hmm.
and he was never ever interested in buying properties.
Mm-hmm.
Calling, 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 and broadcasting, 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 sending him a lot of WhatsApp messages,
Mm-hmm.
never replying.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes replying, but saying not interested.
Mm-hmm.
I never lost hope because
Mm-hmm.
I knew that this guy is a big guy,
Mm-hmm.
right? One day he can wake up and he can buy something big.
Mm-hmm.
So I never stopped. So it's a very funny story that how I
Mm-hmm.
closed my first bulk deal.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
and we launched a new cluster in Damac Hills too, which used
Mm-hmm.
to be Aqua Oxygen that time,
Yeah.
right? And that was the time when Damac used to sell villas starting from 1 million dirhams,
Mm-hmm.
the smaller villas.
Mm-hmm.
And even the name was very funny. It was selfie villas.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so it was a launch day, and my whole team was at the launch, and I was a little bit disappointed and depressed, and I decided to stay at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I was literally lying down on my bed,
Mm-hmm.
and already obviously one day ago I sent that launch details to that client as well,
Mm-hmm.
as I was broadcasting to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The client calls me back. He said, Adeel, how many units left? Now
Mm-hmm.
that was the first question. This
Mm-hmm.
is the first time the guy is talking to me seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I don't know. I have to check. He said, look, if it's 1 unit, I can confirm with you right now. If you can give me 30 minutes, I might take more.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is the time where I decided to take risk because
Mm-hmm.
I was already selling 1 units
Mm-hmm.
almost every month, two, three
Mm-hmm.
units I was selling. So
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, I can give you 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, he calls me, said, pick up a pen and paper. I picked up the pen and he said, write down
Mm-hmm.
4 units under my company name, 2 units under my name, 3 units under my sister name, 1 unit under my friend name, 4 units in this. So in total,
Wow.
he said between 10 to 11 villas.
Nice.
And he said, what you need is a credit card. He called me, he sent me credit cards, everything. And I called my manager who was at the launch, and I
Mm-hmm.
said, pick up a pen and paper in
Mm-hmm.
the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, first, you did not come. So please don't joke with me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in a good mood.
Mm-hmm.
And I will see you in the office on Monday because you did not show up on the in the event.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm serious. Write down. So
Mm-hmm.
I told him the same way: 4 units under this name, 2 units
Mm-hmm.
under this name, 3 units under this name, and he was shocked.
Mm-hmm.
And then I booked almost 10 units that day,
Mm-hmm.
And after 4 hours, the guy calls me again. He said, book the 11th unit as well for my sister as well.
Ah, cherry on the top.
Cherry on the top. So this is how I closed. Now see, when you consistently follow up with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
trust me, when the deal will come your way, you have, when you will least expect that the deal is coming to you, that day the deal will come to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to keep trying and give your best, and then obviously things will come your way.
Mm-hmm.
So, Akil, tell
Mm-hmm.
me what you suggest, uh, as I see you a successful broker. Let me ask you, you made your first million already?
Yes, I
Okay.
did.
All right. So if you made your first million already, how much time it took when you started your real estate career?
So I'm into a real estate market for at least 5.5 years. So I made my first million after 3 years of a time.
3 years of time.
After three
So
years
it
of
took
a
you
time.
3 years, and I'm sure if you're talking about 5 years, you saw that Corona time as well,
Exactly.
right?
And by the way, I was here in the Corona time. It was crazy.
So let's minus that 1 year. So let's say it took 4 years
Mm-hmm.
for you to be a good broker. Now this is also something, and a broker like this who made his first million in 3 years, I think he's going to stay longer in the market
Mm-hmm.
versus the broker who made his first million in the first week.
I know. I know. The struggle, the
And who knows,
effort.
he knows what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
Exactly.
I really doubt on the brokers who just came last week and they made their first million,
Mm-hmm.
if they will be able to stay in the market for a longer period of time. I don't think so.
That's true.
Because that is the minimum criteria. If you are making your first million in 3 to 4 years of the career, that means you are on the right track. It is something which is long term.
Exactly.
You learned everything in the hard way,
Exactly.
right?
And in a really hard way. I had like really bad experiences. So yeah, time was tough if you're new in the market. Okay, you don't have anything. There was Corona time also going on. I was struggling with the clients and all that stuff. Meeting, you're new in the market, you don't have a card, you don't have enough money, and you do have all of that stuff repeatedly. Sometimes it gets very tough. And you know that toughness, what I believe, that makes your character. Being a person and being able to build you in real estate market and take you in a longer run.
Yeah. Your personality, how you build yourself, how you build your character, your attitude towards work is very, very important. And if you are a long-term thinker, you have to sometimes let go some opportunities as well.
Exactly.
Sometimes, these days the guys come and say, "I want to be a real estate broker, but work on salary."
I know.
That does not make any sense to me, and obviously does not make any sense to a actual real estate broker, because this is the problem. It's not a job,
Mm-hmm.
it's a business, right? And you are basically getting paid on the basis of your information. So if you
Mm-hmm.
are well informed and
Mm-hmm.
if you know what you are doing, you are always sure that you will be in the business and you will be always closing deals. The
Exactly.
problem is, if you know that you don't know nothing,
I know.
then you will be looking for some security. In our
Mm-hmm.
business, it's a risky business. We are convincing people, this is
Mm-hmm.
our main job. We
Mm-hmm.
convince people to take risk.
Mm-hmm.
So how come I can convince somebody to take risk
But I'm
doing
not ready.
investment while I'm not interested to take a risk?
True.
I should be a better risk taker than the other one. All
Hmm.
right. So if we are not a risk taker, then it becomes close to impossible to convince somebody to take a risk,
Hmm.
because at the end of the day, investing in anything is a risk, right?
Exactly.
So how can you convince somebody if you are also you yourself are not a risk taker?
Mm-hmm.
So this is also something which is missing in a lot of people, and also the kind of mindset we are having. Like, we don't want to learn.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to learn about what we are doing. We
Mm-hmm.
just want to sell.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, we are not into sales.
Exactly.
We are in a business where we have to suggest, we have to give our opinion, and our opinion matters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And to develop that kind of trust, you need to be a guy who knows almost every in and out. So it is very important for us to learn about what we are doing. We need to know each and everything what we are doing. And starting from knowing about different areas,
Mm-hmm.
becoming specialist. For me, now, for me, how I became a successful broker,
Mm-hmm.
just for one fact, because
Mm-hmm.
for me, Dubai city was a project. I always looked at Dubai map as a master plan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you look at Dubai map as a master plan,
Mm-hmm.
it will be easy for you to understand what's going on in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most of us, what we do, what our colleagues they would do, they would study specific master plans,
Mm-hmm.
right? They would pick up
One or
Palm
two
Jumeirah,
projects.
Palm Jebel Ali,
Yeah.
all right, and then they would just study it. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, that Palm Jebel Ali or Palm Jumeirah or Emirates Hills or Dubai Hills is just part of the big master plan which Dubai has created,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then I just have to cover right locations as we choose units for our clients at the right
Mm-hmm.
location in the master plan.
Mm-hmm.
I pick up locations for my clients
Mm-hmm.
from that big master plan of Dubai, and
Mm-hmm.
I suggest properties accordingly. And
Mm-hmm.
this is how I think.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of mindset is also very important, and also for somebody who is looking to grow in this career, it's very important for him to know what is he doing, what's his job is. So for us, if we are not updated, because we we need to update ourselves every day. We need to know what are the projects coming up, what is the history of that project,
Mm-hmm.
what is the price per square foot currently going on, what
Mm-hmm.
was the price per square foot in the past in
Mm-hmm.
that area. Everything you need to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we don't want to learn, we just want
Mm-hmm.
to sell,
I
right?
know.
And for me, I think learning is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Akil,
Yeah.
uh, what are your goals in terms of career? What what you want to do from this real estate business? Where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
See, the plans are big. I'm planning to stay here. I have been already consistent, so this would be my main source of job, or you can say a business. So I'm already planning to move all of my family here. I'll be proper residence here with the family. Definitely, I have some bigger goals as well.
What do you
So
think about DNK?
DNK, that's a really good question. I have been into market for a longer time. I have been to many places. I have seen many agents. I've seen management of many companies. They are not that much good. I like DNK so much. It's not like I'm working in DNK, because in DNK, it's not like you're the agent in the company or you're working for the company. You are an honor of the company and your privilege. And in majority of the companies, sometime it's a lack of support also. Agents are pretty good, leads are very good, but they lack in connections. Maybe they don't have big connections in developers and in some other areas. So they will go to their management and they will tell him, I need this, but they don't have a time to assist them. But in DNK, it's opposite. Whatever you need, whatever kind of support you need, DNK management is with you, and especially you. Even if I'm calling you even at 1 a.m., Adil, what to do about this situation. So you are there to answer the call. So it's all about responding your agents, standing up with your agents, and walking with them step by step.
Well, for me, I'll tell you my vision about DNK, how I started this, and what I am looking, and what kind of team or what kind of environment I want to build here. Whatever
Mhm,
you said is absolutely right. I
mhm,
think in DNK,
mhm.
everybody is boss except the CEO,
Yeah.
right? And I always say to my people and to my friends as well, in my office, I'm the only one who is not boss, and
Mhm,
everybody is the boss.
mhm,
And I want to create this environment, and this is why I'm hand picking agents. I'm really, I'm not doing like hiring a lot of agents altogether. My vision is very simple. I want to hire few agents,
mhm,
and with who I can build that bond and chemistry, and we can work as a team together. So
mhm,
you have seen by your eyes as well that how many times it happened that my agents are, I don't know, at home or
mhm,
sometimes traveling, and I am
mhm.
closing their deals. Right.
I'm the witness.
Right. So it's not because uh, I'm not working for them or they're not working for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's very simple. We work as a team,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what is teamwork? Teamwork is this: if one is lacking on something, let's suppose he's busy, he's stuck, or maybe he's sick,
Mm-hmm.
the other one have to support him,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for example, and I appreciate my team as well, but when I need them, they also support me as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it is like that. It's like
Mm-hmm.
give and take. You give your 50%, I give my 50%, we close a deal,
True.
right? So no, we there's no boss, there's no nothing. So it's like a business partnership, and everyone over here in this company is owner,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the owner is the only one who's not the owner.
I know.
And I think this is the kind of environment I want to create. And
Mm-hmm.
only those people who are in the market from long time,
Mm-hmm.
they can only understand the value of this kind of environment, because I have been there, done that, so I know what was missing in all those big firms I worked for,
Mm-hmm.
and I could just bring that to my
Mm-hmm.
company, and I think I can make it bigger.
Very well said. And
Mhm.
the thing is, you should make an environment in your company which should be positive, because that positive environment push your agents, or in other sense you can say your business partners, to grow more, to think into a different perspective, to stand out and be more successful in the market. So if you are going towards like micromanagement, that destroys everything.
Look, this company is for entrepreneurs. This company is not for employees, and this
Mm-hmm.
company is not for the people who are looking for a job.
Mm-hmm.
This company is for entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
Entrepreneurs who are looking to build their career and they want to go next level. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So in this company, there is nobody who is there to manage them. There
Mm-hmm.
is nobody who's micromanaging. There is
Mm-hmm.
nobody who's acting like a boss. It's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
We have one mission,
Mm-hmm.
one track, right?
Exactly.
And on this track, we are together
Mm-hmm.
and we achieve together. So that's why we do everything together. We live like a
Mm-hmm.
family, we stay like a family, we work like a family, we do everything like a family. And this
Mm-hmm.
environment, I will never ever change.
I hope so, and we'll be successful so much, and hopefully to see ourselves at the top, and we will make ourselves at the top.
Right.